Okay, I have a lunch break at the moment, and usually on my lunch breaks I use my MacBook Air because it's much nicer to use than the boring Windows laptop I have here at work. Nothing exciting with it, so I usually use my MacBook Air when I have a lunch break. And the problem with that is that I need to tether my iPhone when I do that. And the 3G connection here is not so good, so I don't know if you can see it, but I don't know if you can see it, but as you can see, I have 3 bars. That's kind of good. Usually it's much worse. 1 or 2 bars on 3G connection. But it's the only way to me to surf the web on my lunch break on my MacBook Air. And earlier today I posted some posts on my Google Plus blog. I've got some comments there. For example, about Windows Phone struggles to break the catch-22 because app makers doesn't make app for Windows Phone. I think that's too bad because it's a great OS. It's a great mobile OS. But you need apps and a good user experience for an OS, because without that, it's nothing without apps. I've got some new followers as usual. See here. Sometimes when I'm not feeling for it, I just check what they have written about themselves to see if they are something to follow back. And I never follow users that posts and writes in a language I don't understand, so Stefan Rung was from Sweden. That's why I clicked on him. Well, I skipped this one. That's the beauty with Google Plus. You don't have to follow back if someone follows you. The other post I posted today was about that Apple probably will add the Chinese search engine Baidu in iOS. And that's a clever way to do it. On iOS we are not locked to only use Google as search engine. We can choose between Bing and Yahoo, and in China probably Baidu. That's great. On Android you are locked to use Google as your search engine. Of course you can download an app and use that search app to have, for example, Yahoo or Bing or something. But that's not the same as having the OOS in the search engine integrated into the OOS. And using Baidu in China is popular, so it's a good move by Apple to have Baidu as a choice. Chris Rubato has replied to my last comment. He says that Google Search isn't integrated with Android. You can make Android without Google Search or services. Look at the Nook Color or Kindle Fire. As a matter of fact, Androids in China were never integrated with Google in the first place. Google knows that with blessings. They had representatives when China Mobile launched its own Android fork. The Chinese Android forks use Chinese web services, Baidu for search, Tencent and Sina for apps. That is why Tencent had a UI launcher on Android. You got UC Browser and Maxton on Android market. Well, that's true, but Google doesn't even count the Kindle Fire and the Nook as an Android device, so. And that's probably because they have changed the OS so much, replaced Google services with their own and so on. So yeah, you can make Android as exactly how you want it because it's open source, but you will never have an Android smartphone qualified by Google if you remove the Google search. I'm sure of that. And Alex Lieber had an interesting post up about what Apple has that Google is lacking, and why and what the secret is that Apple is crushing Google. I like that post. It was good. Apple's secret is that they do products for normal people, and Android is for geeks and hackers and people that want to customize and change every setting in their phones and tablets and so on. So that's the huge difference between iOS and Android. iOS is for normal people that want stuff that works. Simple as that. Then we have all my old posts from yesterday. Nothing new there. Oh, the text is too big. I need to make it smaller. The reason is because I have my MacBook Air connected to my 40-inch smart TV, Samsung Smart TV, every evening, and it has full HD 1080p resolution, and when I lie in my bed and surfing the web, for example, I need to zoom the web pages to read sometimes. So my TweetDeck is zoomed on my Samsung Smart TV, and when I use the MacBook Air instead, the display on the MacBook Air, I need to make the text small again, as you could see. And some new interaction on my English account, Svartling with a normal V. some new followers, some retweets. It's a retweet on the post about Windows Phone not catch 22 as app makers hold off, that we discussed on Google+. It's some retweets on that post. And here we have something that I want to show you. I hate those posts. These posts from Paper.li and other services. I think though those services are not useful at all. So if I want to block something on or mute something, if I want to mute something in TweetDeck, I first open the tweet like this and check down here which service, and this service is what I want to mute. Then I go up to the settings in TweetDeck and choose global filter, and here in the filter option I choose source, and then I type Paper.li and add filter. As you can see, I have added a lot of mute filters from sources, from text, for example hashtags. That's what I usually mute, hashtags and sources. You can also mute author, but why don't unfollow instead? Much better to unfollow the person instead of muting the person. So, but filter could be useful because some users is interesting to follow, but not everything they post, like the Paper.li service, for example. Here you see my mute I did on that. So if you find something in your Twitter timeline or interactions and stuff, you can always mute it by going into settings and choose global filter. Here you have all the muted filters. Here you see my two accounts in TweetDeck. My English account, Svartling, and my Swedish account, Svartling with a W. I usually don't follow Swedish users on my main account, my English account, because I want English tweets in my timeline, my stream, not Swedish or other languages. But I follow them on my Swedish account instead. So we had some retweets, we had something to mute, and we have more retweets. In my English account and in my Swedish account then we have a retweet, more retweets. Wait a minute, I need to check something at my work computer. Oh shit. So, my lunch break continues. Retweets on my Swedish account. That was Twitter for a moment on my lunch break. Got some mail, Trash. What's this then? Hoyoki with Evernote, Google Reader, Cloud App, and more integration and features. Interesting. Hoyoki is a cool social service. Actually, integrates many services into one stream. Kinda cool. I move that to my spotted. And here we have some comments from Google Plus. I've already read. I trash it. And here we have some posts from GetGlue, and I get them often, very often. Trash it. I am not using GetGlue. My latest timeline or my subscription at YouTube is what we see here. Any more Google Plus interactions? No. So usually on my lunch break, when I have got Google Plus and Twitter and so on, I usually start to go through my Twitter timeline because I need to find stuff I want to post, blog, share, and so on. And Pinterest, this tweet, Pinterest. I don't use Pinterest, and I'm starting to not like all the tweets and posts I see about Pinterest. I am not interested in Pinterest, and I will never be interested in Pinterest. I have muted the Pinterest service, but you use stuff like tweet button and stuff when you post to Pinterest, and you can't mute the tweet button because then you mute a lot of tweets, so it's hard to mute Pinterest posts in my timeline. The worst users I even unfollow because they post too much from Pinterest. Okay, Apple ready to license its Nano SIM design for free on one not so nanny condition from Engadget. Click on that. Please notice that I have still tethering the internet from my iPhone, so it's not the fastest connection. I often click on the reader button in Safari to read a post because it's a lot nicer. Safari is my favorite web browser. It beats Chrome hands down. Much better. You have full screen web pages, acts like native apps on OS X Lion. I switch between them, as you have seen, by swiping left, right. Very easy. Okay, Apple ready to license its Nano SIM. Okay, Apple wants to have a new, smaller, even smaller SIM than the micro SIM called nano SIM. I know why, because they want smaller devices, smaller iPhone, thinner iPhone, and the SIM card takes a lot of space inside the phone. So if you could have a smaller SIM, you could even have a bigger battery or something. So I think that's the reason. Nothing I want to retweet. Nothing so interesting there. This is what I hate with TweetDeck. When you for a while have scrolled down or reading tweet, it updates the stream, and then you're losing the place where you were. I want to be where I was when the stream was updated. I hate this. On Tweetbot on my iPhone and iPad it works great. Echophone and Twitterific it works great on Mac too, but TweetDeck doesn't. When it updates you lose where you were left off. Simple as that. So it's hard to follow, really hard, as you can see. And my internet is not the fastest at the moment. We go up in the stream again to find something interesting. Apple CEO Tim Cook spotted at retail store in Beijing. Wow, interesting. The Verge has posted about the Apple Nano SIM too. Let's see if you can load it. I hit the reader button. The Verge says that Apple's Nano SIM standard would be royalty free if approved by Etsy, claims insider. That's cool. Royalty free is always good. Well, still not so interesting. Here you see a tweet from my Swedish account in my stream. I follow myself. My coffee is empty. My coffee. It's the time. I have some lunch break still. We go through the tweets. Here you see a Swedish user. I see if I should unfollow him. Sometimes I follow them because they sometimes post in English and are interesting, so we check his tweets. if it can load. Now my internet is slow, but as you can see here, posting in English sometimes and in Swedish sometimes. Well, I guess you have to go because in this account I want English tweets, so unfollow. That's how you unfollow someone on in TweetDeck. Here we have a tweet from Into Mobile. SugarSync 2.0 for iPad comes with a brand new Retina optimized UI, ton of improvements under the hood. That's old news actually. I read that this weekend, so we skip that. It looks like I don't find any cool news to post on Google Plus or tweet on Twitter. Can you see any cool news in my stream? Magnus Bettner is a cool stand-up comedian in Sweden, and he follows me and I follow him. He tweets in English, so it fits me perfectly fine. Here's another Swede, Benny Skogberg. Look at his tweets. I almost all the time cleaning my Twitter stream and who I follow and so on, because I want an optimized, perfect Twitter stream for my news that I am interested in. Because I use Twitter as a RSS reader. Instead of RSS I use Twitter, so it's very important that the stream is highly optimized. So that's why I unfollow people that is not so interesting or post in other languages than English. So I think it's time for Benny Skogberg to go, because he posts almost all the time in Swedish. Follow me on my Swedish account instead. I unfollow back. Yes, unfollow. Even if he has a Mac there, I unfollow anyways, but I love Apple users and I love Apple products, so my stream is filled with Apple users and Apple products, Apple tweets. Why do magazines look so terrible on the iPad 3? I click on that. It takes time to load. Topicfire, what's that? I hate those services. I hate those services that adds their own URL and these toolbar at the top. No, 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 no. Please, no. I click back. Is that the same tweet? Duplicate. Check this. Could that be a... No. I don't like those. It's a service I want to mute. Topicfire, what's that? Can I click? You see, it's a Mashable post from the site Mashable, and they take their own URL, and when I retweeted it, I want the original URL. I hate those services. So before reading that, I go back here and I want to mute this Topicfire. We go into settings in TweetDeck and go here and take source and type Topicfire and add a filter. So now I don't, as you can see, already gone. That service will never be viewed in my Twitter stream again. Feels nice. Here you see Gizmo has posted about the same thing I posted about on Google+. That Apple could be replacing Google with Baidu on iOS devices in China. I think that's a good move. But why do magazines look so terrible on the iPad 3? What do you think? I believe because the resolution is so incredible on the iPad 3, the new iPad. So magazines has not been optimized for the new resolution yet. Quite simple. So nothing new. Quite obvious. So I will not retweet that. It's a stupid post, really. Here's this post from Gizmo. Swedish magicians uses Apple's new iPad to entertain. I tweeted about that in this weekend. Kinda cool magic trick they do with 16 iPads. Very, very cool. That YouTube video is, I recommend to watch that. Really cool. They are very good. So that's old news too. So my lunch break is over and I need to stop recording my lunch break. Has been not so interesting this time because I haven't found so much new posts, new news. Not so much interesting news this time, but I have shown you how you mute stuff in TweetDeck, how you unfollow users on TweetDeck. Here is an infographic that tells us that most iPad users access internet service via Wi-Fi, and that's true. I do the same. Why buy a iPad with 3G or 4G when you can tethering to your iPhone when you need mobile connection. I will never do that. I will never buy an iPad 3G because I have an iPhone that I can tether to. I have an unlimited data plan on my iPhone, so no problem there. We can retweet this then. I click on the retweet, it shows my English account, edit and RT, edit and retweet, it's a new feature in the new TweetDeck. I can add a comment here. That's what I do. That's it. I can do a hashtag iPad and then hit tweet. I saw that I have got a reply on my Swedish account. We can see which tweet she replied on. It's from the TV show You Are Googled. She retweeted that it's transparency that counts on the internet when you're online. Okay, it's a Swedish tweet, but I can record it. I can reply that I replied, yes, that's true, in Swedish, and hit tweet. Nothing to post on Google Plus about. Okay, I think we have to start working again. The lunch break is over. One last check on Google Plus. I see I have some new followers. A photographer. I usually ignore the photographers because they almost always post a lot of photos, and I want tech news in my Google Plus stream. No more comments. So that was my lunch break. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will do more lunch break shows and post here. Hopefully more interesting than the one today. Some of you probably haven't seen how you mute posts in TweetDeck and how you unfollow people in TweetDeck, the new TweetDeck. So you have probably learned something if you have never seen that. So bye.